Okay, let's make something. So, excuse me. Yesterday I tried recording several videos and none of them worked. So, I ended up just finishing the beat that I spent all that time recording for and uploading it like normal. And today I'll try and make up for the fact that I didn't actually get a video recorded yesterday. I don't know what I want to make today. I also don't know what BPM I want. Lately I've been on like a fast BPM kick, like 170, 180, 190, 200, somewhere in there. Let's go with like 177, just kind of arbitrarily. I might start with piano and just see, where it goes. I might change the instrument later. Maybe I should put this where there's not a lot happening. So maybe over here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I can hear like some bouncy, almost boom bappy drums on this already. Okay, so let's copy it over, and then I want to make it a little bit different on the second half. So I'm going to keep most of it the same. Might just add some flavor notes. So maybe let's trade some of these notes out though, just to make it a little different. Okay, I'm hearing a very cinematic beat now. I was hearing like almost boom bappy before, but now I can hear like strings. So yeah, I'm hearing something like cinematic, like some strings. What else? Maybe some bills. I'm just now noticing that the way that I the way that I view songs, melodies, beats in general, it changes based on like the more of it I make or hear of it. So like as I started, I heard some like boom bap drums, and then as I kept making it, it kind of transformed into something that was, more cinematic and more like emotional. And in that particular case, I might still use boom bap drums, but not necessarily. So I just find it interesting that like as you hear, as you progress in a piece, like the way that you look at it can change. So yeah. So I'm hearing like a violin. Seems it seems really simple, but I like it. I want this to go a little bit longer. Maybe let's see. Strings, all strings, staccato. reason I moved this one is because you don't necessarily have to move this one. I don't really want the tension that's between these two notes. So this piano note that's on, what is that, A, and then the string note that's on A sharp. When you play notes on top of each other like this, it can sound dissonant. And it kind of does on its own, but in context of the song, you may not notice it. Or it can sound cool and good. But that sounds a little bit more like final than this one does. So I'm gonna leave this one the first time because it sounds like you want something to come after these two notes. It sounds like over here you almost want like another downbeat. Like, and this kind of does that. And so I like ending, the idea in the second half, but leaving it open in the first. Plus, it gives you just a tiny amount of variation. It's only one note, but it is a little tiny bit of variation, so it doesn't sound quite as stale. That sounds so cool! And then maybe... Yeah, okay, so it's the same thing I did with the string. Like, the only difference is... Or the staccato string. The only difference is this one note. So maybe before I add effects, I will copy and paste this over to the FM flute. Yeah, we're doing that. We're going to make the FM flute slide up to the top note. Because for whatever reason, this FM flute, like, it already kind of has a vocal quality to it, but when you slide the notes, it amplifies that even more. So it makes it sound even more voice-like. And like I said, I'm going to add some effects later on to make it sound even better. Alright, let's go ahead and add those effects that I was just talking about. I'm going to process these two together since I'm already layering them anyway, so let's call this I'm gonna start mixing this. So the piano is a little loud. Like, in terms of like numbers, it's loud, and like visually it is. It doesn't sound super loud. So what I'm gonna do is just kind of use a limiter to chop off the top here, just to bring it down a little bit. Boost the volume so that there's not as much dynamic range, And then because this is so low in pitch, I can show you. See how much low end there is? And you can hear it with your ears too. Because of that, I'm going to separate it. There we go. You want some reverb on these strings, not as much as on the vocal though, because I don't want to push it back as far. Just want a little bit. I'm going to go through and randomize all the velocities, all of the timings, and I'm also going to pan a bunch of the notes. So I'm probably going to cut away from that because it'll take some time. Or I might cut through it. Who knows? You'll see. Got everything randomized. I've got everything panned. So now I'm going to go through and save these. And I think I'm going to save 2 patterns of it. And I want one pattern to be simplified. So it's just a little simplified. Okay, so let's consolidate that. Is simplified. I think I am going to go ahead and create another melody, another like melody or just melody in general, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to take this and I'm going to chop it up and reverse it. Just like this. So it's already reversed. I'm just chopping it up and then I'm going to rearrange it. I am going to do more to it though. So let's reverse it and pitch it up. And then I've got some effects I'm going to put on it. And it's got some gross beat, which just makes the end kind of flip backwards a little bit. And I've got that faded out. I've got a little bit of chorus, a little bit of flanger, a little bit of phaser, and some reverb. We're going to compress it back, re-reverse it. Okay, oops. I'm going to call this M1, give it a new color, and then I'm going to fade the volume of this one out, because this is too much. Yeah, so let's fade the volume. Okay, and we will have some sort of drums going on down here. The drums here will be really light, and the drums over here are going to be kind of light as well, but, you know, you get the idea. And I don't know if this is laziness or if it works or whatever, but I kind of do the same thing for the bridge every time. I just use halftime. I take every single melodic piece that I have in the beat, and I put halftime on it. And that usually goes for a pretty decent sounding bridge.